Otherwise, you might find me, your mouth, saying a little something unexpected on your next date, like, "Hi, my name's Mike, and I just love biting my toenails." Capiche?
See your dentist. Uses directed when brushing and flossing aren't enough.
And we are back on 89.7 KLES FM. And I've already just screwed up because I told you last week, every time I say we are back, that's $1 towards the Miracle Fund. So I've donated $1 to your Miracle. In fact, from now on, if you are listening and you hear me say, "and we're back," let me know, and we'll just start the collection. And you can call on the show at area code 323-962-1937, as we're about to talk about the NBA playoffs. And we're going to start in the East. Who is going to represent the East in the finals? Chicago is extremely impressive right now. They have the #2 defense in the league. They don't let you score points. Only the Celtics' defense is better. Derrick Rose is the league MVP, and he is absolutely phenomenal. Can they beat the Heat or the Celtics in a 7-game series? Well, right now the Celtics are a little banged up. They're getting Shaq back. Jermaine O'Neal's is starting to get his legs underneath him, and Kristich inside as well. But the problem is that Chicago's defense, they have these players that kind of, they're the annoying players. They got these guys who scrap for loose balls, who tip things, who strip you when you go to the basket. And these have this annoying team. And I think they can beat the Celtics in a 7-game series. I think they can beat the Heat in a 7-game series too, because they can just lock the Heat up and play good defense. Now, where the Bulls are vulnerable, they're vulnerable against teams that can shoot 3-point shots. Orlando shoots a lot of threes. The Knicks shoot a lot of threes. But those two teams are going to have a hard time getting there. In fact, Orlando and Chicago could be the second round matchup. And in fact, I think Orlando's the scariest team in the East just because of the 3-point shot. And with Dwight Howard inside, you know, he might make it difficult for Derrick Rose to get to the rim. But to me, you know, Chicago has what it takes to take it down the East. Now, Miami has the stars, but can they play fourth quarter defense and fourth quarter offense? Can they decide, okay, is it going to be LeBron's time? Is it going to be Dwayne Wade's time? I mean, Chris Bosh, to me, has just been so erratic. You know, he complains they don't give him the ball in the right places. And then when they give it to him, then for like 2 weeks he's great, and then he goes back to being the way he was at the start of the season. So, I'm not too high on the Bulls. The Heat. I was hoping that the Heat got the Knicks in the first round because I felt the Knicks could beat the Heat in a 7-game series. But unfortunately for the Knicks, they got the Celtics. And I know we did it once, way back in 1990 when we beat Boston in a 5-game series, and Patrick Ewing hit that 3-point shot with the clock winding down, and it was a high-scoring game. I think it was 121-114 in the deciding game in Boston Garden, I believe, too. And I was very, 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 very happy back then when that happened. But in order for it to happen again this time, the Knicks are going to have to figure out a way to do something about the size the Celtics has inside. They have absolutely no answer for it. I mean, Stoudemire's not a defensive guy. Turioff is a good player, but he can't. I mean, come on, Shaq's going to have his way. So is Jermaine O'Neal. So is Kristich. And the only chance the Knicks have of beating Boston in a 7-game series is going to be if the Knicks are making every 3-point shot they take. Carmelo will probably average 30 points a game. Billups will score a lot, and so will Stoudemire, but the Celtics is just too much. The second round in the playoffs in the East is going to be interesting because of, again, you know, Chicago playing against Orlando. Orlando will utilize that 3-point shot to death. And Orlando's like Duke, as I said a long time ago. When Duke's making 3-point shots, they're tough. They're impossible to beat. Same thing with Orlando. If Orlando's making 3-point shots, they're impossible to beat. And as I said 2 weeks ago, if Rajon Rondo, all you Celtic fans out there, if Rajon Rondo is making jump shots, put the trophy in the Celtics' case. And the round 2 matchups, you know, being that it might be Orlando and Chicago, Miami and Boston, you know, they'll be great to watch. Both series will go all 7 games. Both teams will beat each other on each other's home floor, and it will be worth watching. But to me, at the end of the day, I just think that Miami and Chicago will be teams playing for the right to go to the NBA Finals, because I think Boston's team, I think they're just a little bit too banged up. And I think, it's been 3 straight years of making it to the Eastern Conference Finals, 2 NBA championships. I just think their bodies have broken down. I think they're just going to be too tired to keep it going. And I don't think Rondo's going to shoot well enough to get them beyond the second round. And if we have Chicago and Miami Eastern Conference Final, I think, ESPN and the ABC will be happier than a pig rolling around in a bucket full of on a hot day in Arkansas, as Keith Jackson would once say. I just think Chicago has the guy. He's been the best player in the league this year, and I think that he's killed teams in the playoffs with his ability to get to the rim. He had in his rookie season, his first playoff series against the Celtics, he had a triple-double, scored over 35 points. I mean, Derrick Rose is the real deal. And I think he will continue to show you all why he is the real deal. And we shall be back on 89.7 and talk about the West after this lovely message from Adirondack Camp.
What's that sound? That's the sound of children who just finished an activity at Adirondack Camp. Adirondack Camp is located on beautiful and majestic Lake George in upstate New York. Adirondack Camp offers a summer program of athletics, sailing, kayaking, windsurfing, water skiing, mountaineering, arts and crafts, and tennis. But most importantly, fun. Check us out at AdirondackCamp.com. We have 4 and 8 week sections. Adirondack Camp, the traditions are set, the memories are waiting.
And so the Western Conference. The Western Conference has amazing matchups all over the place. Whether you're talking about Dallas and Portland, whether you're talking about the Lakers and the Hornets, that's right. The Hornets have had an injury-plagued season. They're starting to get some of their players back. And who knows, maybe Chris Paul will finally play to his capabilities. I mean, next season he's going to be the hottest free agent. Well, the best way to get your face out there and get yourself known to teams that are looking for players like you is to have a great playoff. And I think, the Spurs in Memphis, I know a lot of people don't put a lot of stock in what Memphis can do, but don't be surprised if Memphis pushes the Spurs beyond 5 games, beyond 6 games. And, of course, the Denver Nuggets and Oklahoma City Thunder. The Oklahoma City Thunder, they are the scariest team in the playoffs for the West, because Durant is a mismatch for anyone, and Westbrook is phenomenal at the point. And adding Perkins in the middle, they have defensive toughness. They're going to be a tough team to knock out. Portland has been my dark horse all year long, and Dallas is probably saying to themselves, why us? Why couldn't they play the Lakers? Why couldn't they play the Spurs? Why do we got to play Portland? No one wants to play Portland. And they're going to show you why no one wants to play Portland come playoff time this year. The Spurs are very, very banged up, and so are the Lakers. Andrew Bynum's knee is not as serious as they said it would be, but the simple fact, in my opinion, I think the Lakers don't need Bynum. I think they play the game a lot better without Bynum because they move the ball better. The middle isn't so clogged, and their offense seems to flow better. But when you have 2 7-footers who are all-star quality, you want to keep him in that lineup. I think he'd be best coming off the bench and letting Odom start. Therefore, you have a go-to guy in the post when you bring in the second teams. And I think Kobe plays a lot better when there's not 2 guys he's got to, maneuver around to get the ball into the post to, or when he's trying to drive to the basket. Ain't too many big guys are by the rim if one of them are out of the game. I mean, for example, if Gasol's on the bench, then that's one less person guarding a center, blocking the rim from Kobe to get to the rim. The Spurs rested Tim Duncan all season long. They rested him for this reason, for the playoffs. He played probably like 25 to 28 minutes a game. And now it's put up or shut up time. Manu Ginobili just got hurt the other night. And so, the Spurs, they got their hands full. I think Dallas is, I've been saying all season long, it's going to be Boston and Dallas in the finals. I've said that 100 times. But I've changed my mind. I think Dallas is going home early. I think Dallas is saying to themselves, the last place we want to be on this earth is Portland. And that's exactly what they got. And let me tell you something about the Denver Nuggets, too. You've talked all this mess about Carmelo. You don't need him. He didn't want to play defense. Nobody knew who was going to get the shots. Nobody knew this. Nobody knew that. Well, he's gone now. And now that he's gone, there should be no excuses from anyone on that team if you don't make it past the second round, or you don't make it to the second round, because you said the team plays better defense, you have better offensive flow. Okay, well, who's going to take the tough shot now? Oklahoma City's going to give the ball to Durant, or they're going to let Westbrook penetrate and score. Who are you going to give the ball to penetrate and score? Felton? Nene? Aflalo? I mean, let's be realistic here. You guys have talked all this mess about Carmelo, he's gone. Okay, well, now's the time to put up or shut up. So who's going to win the West? Well, I'm going to surprise you with who I think is going to win the West. I think the second round matchups, I think the Lakers are going to end up playing Portland in the second round. I think the Spurs are going to play Oklahoma City in the second round. And I think Oklahoma City is going to beat the Spurs. And I think Oklahoma City will be playing the Lakers for the chance to go to the finals in a rematch of last year's NBA playoff series where they went the distance. And I think this time Oklahoma City is going to get it done. I know that's sacrilege out here to say the Lakers are not going to defend their title. But you know something about the Lakers? I think Charles Barkley touched on it the other day. He said the Lakers, yeah, they went 17-1 out of the All-Star break. Extraordinarily impressive. But man, if you watch them enough times, they're hard to watch. They really are. They don't do anything spectacular. They just sort of, if they start losing, that's when Kobe starts to try to take games over. I mean, they let teams beat them this past week that just don't make any sense, or these past couple of weeks that don't make any sense. I mean, you're pushing to possibly even take over the number one seed, and you lose games to Golden State. You lose at home. You give them 120 points to Oklahoma City. You don't have an answer. You're not going to start Lamar Odom to try to guard Kevin Durant. Durant showed last summer why he is a top 3 player in the world, leading America to a gold medal. You don't have an answer for him, and you don't have an answer for Westbrook. And Bynum and Artest, Perkins is going to make them crazy. He's going to try to, take them out of their game and pick up stupid technicals and stupid fouls just to, be a thorn in their sides. And I just think the Lakers are just going to run out of gas. I just think that they physically, like the Celtics, it's tough. And I know, and Phil Jackson said yesterday, I hope they're not trying to do this win one for Phil stuff, because that gets annoying after a while. Well, if he's not motivated for, and he doesn't want his players to do it for him, then I don't know who they're going to do it for. So my NBA Finals is the Bulls against the Thunder. Middle America. Oklahoma and Illinois. And will the Bulls cut the nets down, as they say in college? Or will Kevin Durant finish off his unbelievable run since last summer when he led America to the World Championships? And will he lead his team to an NBA championship? We shall see. Now, before we move on to segment 2 of our show, which we'll talk about the NHL playoffs, we're going to read this lovely ad for the Jeffrey Foundation in a moment.